Wow.
And there he is.
I am.
That was 30 seconds.
There we go. That was a quick 30 seconds.
Were you looking for some draft picks, or what are you doing down there?
Was that? Well, I was hooking up another camera. I was going to go ahead and do the two camera thing because I got this one here. I was trying to get this one over here, so I don't have to be looking over here, but we are right. Because you know what? I can just do one of these things. Hey, guys, we just did the trenches draft, and man, that was a little more wild than I thought it was going to be.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. Like it was good. We're sitting here with one of the contestants. He decided to join us, and I thought that really cool.
He thinks he won already, I'm guessing.
Well, yeah, I hope so. You said that you weren't really what Nick Smith, everybody. Everybody's clapping. I know they are. I can tell. How did you say you weren't really happy with your draft, but I thought that for what you were handed, you did really well. How did you feel about the whole experience? But why weren't you like necessarily happy with your draft?
Yeah. I did mock drafts 1 through 12 just because I didn't know where I was going to fall, and I kind of wanted to see. Plus, on that Sleepers app that you have, it's really nice to actually have them auto draft it quickly. So if you're going to go into most fantasy places and do mock drafts, they auto draft anyway. So it's nice that they just do it really fast. So I was able to practice 1 through 12. 2 just was not the pick for me. I didn't want Christian McCaffrey. He's a good running back. He has the potential to win me my league, but I'm just nervous that he's not going to make it to the end or even far enough to give me enough wins that I want to get there. So, that was scary, but I drafted about as many running backs as I could throughout the rest of the draft to try to, ease that pain a little bit if it does come to that. But yeah, I had a great time. The shuffle 3 times, that threw me off. I was really happy with 7. And then I got shuffled into 2, and I was just like, oh my goodness, now what? So
for those of you that don't know, we drafted on Sleeper, and the way we did it is basically we shuffled the draft order 3 times. And it's important to know that all this stuff has already been pre-planned. So it's already written out. We know all the things that you guys are going to have to deal with throughout the season. We're not just making it up as we go, although we do have fun with it. But shuffling the draft order was something that we were definitely very high on doing because we knew it was going to throw people. Do you feel like it worked basically?
Absolutely, because you're happy with the pick you have. Someone had the first pick. He hadn't had it in a long time. He was really hoping to get that first pick, and then you guys were like, nope. And then you get that other one, and you're like, oh, man, all right, fine. So they did it to us. And then you did it again, and
then we started the draft.
Yeah, and I was so happy with it. And then you start the draft, and you're like, oh, by the way, you only get 30 seconds to think about this second pick that you're going to have. So that was fun.
Well, we promised it wasn't going to be easy. There's $5,000 on the line. This is the trenches. The trenches is where the work gets done. And you guys are definitely going to have to do some work. Roop, there it is. Co-host with the most there with me along the whole way. Wouldn't have happened as well as it did without you. What did you see? Because we're basically on the outside looking in. We're watching the chaos as it happens. What are your thoughts from what you just saw?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and spring one on you. You know that little talk we had before said, hey, write down the times just so you know. I wrote down the end time because that's the only time I could actually have a break. As much as everybody was working, I had a lot of behind the scenes stuff I was taking care of. I did like how everybody was kind of excited and rolling with the punches early on, and then round 3 came and we started.
What's up, Kevin?
Kevin Tyner, a friend of mine, is saying hi. There was just a lot of chaos going on, and that's what we're here to bring. It's not going to be easy, and we're going to throw people through loops all season long, and some choices is going to be their own, and it happened already. If you look at what people are picking up right now, they were getting Cooper Rush, a quarterback. I mean, the quarterbacks are flying off the board right now because of, one of the game changers week 1. So
Well, what people don't understand, and so people are gonna have to like go back and look is the quarterbacks. Well, we have to explain the whole thing. Look, every week there's going to be what we call the game breaker, and game breakers basically challenges and adjustments that the players of the trenches are going to have to navigate. This week it's week 1. We went special with it. All turnovers are worth -10 instead of -2, and you're going to get your final score will reflect the quarterback points from your opponent, not yourself. So your own quarterback is actually playing for the other team. So a lot of people are trying to get these quarterbacks that aren't going to see the field, aren't going to play. But what a lot of people didn't realize until it was explained is that the quarterback has to be scheduled to start. So the person that these players pick, that all the competitors from the trenches pick. So you talk about Cooper Rush getting picked up, where you kind of just wasted a minute on the waiver wire where someone else might have made a more strategic pick. And I bring that up because it's also important to know that as crazy as the trenches are going to get, it's still going to be fair. We're not going to, make this so it's just not fun to play. I think we've put in a lot of work to make this a really exciting season. Again, all this stuff is laid out now. And I don't know. What do you think, Nick, just from draft day? I mean, we're not even week 1.
The draft dice part, that one, that was really cool. So had somebody, like, let's say you had Derrick Henry and you rolled running back, and you could have picked up Jonathan Taylor too. Now that would have been something, and that would have been a team to beat.
Yeah, draft day dice. You guys have seen them. You've seen them out there on the socials. You've seen the whole thing. The folks at Draft Day Dice were nice enough to send us and all the contestants at the trenches a set of the dice, and we weren't going to let them go to waste. I think we had 2 rounds where the contestants had to actually use the Draft Day dice. And basically how it works is we did 1 round with 2 dice. Whatever rolls up, that is your options for picks in that round. And then we did one with 3 dice. The fun thing with the 3 dice is if it comes up triples, you get to steal that position from someone else. People got off this time. We had a couple doubles, but no triples. Mm-hmm. We did have some people get painted into corners. We saw rosters with 2 quarterbacks pretty early, some questionable tight ends, 2 defenses by the end of the draft. I think we even had a team with no defense by the time this thing was done.
Yeah, that's actually true. Hey, Kevin, he's saying, were we giggling as we shuffled, thinking the pain and anguish of the previous number 1 was going through? Yeah. I mean, just watching people flip back and forth, like, oh, they changed it. And then we're looking at them like, yeah. And all I could think of is like, hold your composure for another 30 seconds before I get the go ahead, and boom, that commish power was a lot of fun for me because I knew it wasn't going to devastate me, because I know I don't like drafting in the middle. So if I would have landed there, I'd have been like, please shuffle one more time. And so I'm sure people didn't like where they drafted from and were a little upset about it. They're like, yes, no, yes. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I tell you, like, I was not giggling. I was terrified. I'm just hosting this thing with Root. There it is. And man, I saw some of the stuff that you guys went through. I'm so glad I don't have to go through this.
It's all right. I mean, the dice was fun. What else we got? I still have it all written down. We got some things going on that we can't discuss live. But yeah, we gave everybody 10. Tell us. Yeah. Okay. Round 5, we had just gave them 10 seconds to pick, said, hey, here you go, send it. Now, sure, the person in the 12 spot got a little bit more time, but their pick is just, I mean, that was a fast round.
That was really fast coming down seconds. To the wire. Like, yeah. I already have a hard time deciding, and it was like, this person.
Yeah, that was a panic round for sure.
Absolutely. We're not going to give away all the secrets. You're going to have to subscribe over there at The Armchair Athletics on YouTube to see all the excitement and all the episodes coming this here on the trenches. It's if this is just the start of it, and I know what's going to happen throughout the season, but I'm still sitting on the edge of my seat. I can't imagine what it's like for you guys as competitors and the audience. Let me tell you guys, you are not going to be disappointed. The trenches every Thursday, all season long. It's out of control.
It looks like there's only one person left really checking the waiver, but there was some pretty good action early on. I can't wait to go back and see what everybody did and who dropped what and dropping their second defense. Good for you.
I'm
Don't
gonna
draft
see.
two defenses. I don't care who, rookie or not. Don't draft two defenses. You don't need it. This is a 2 defense league, 3 defense, whatever you want. One's enough.
I'm gonna try and see if we can't get this up so that we can look
I'm gonna
at what just happened. I mean,
we don't have to give away what happened in each round, but we can just say, leave it to everybody else. Like, why did you pick that there? Some of it's noticeable.
That's the thing. That's what we're going to see if we do this here is that people are going to be confused, to say the least, I think. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm looking forward to seeing what you throw at us.
I mean, yeah, y'all going to get it.
We're not really throwing much now. It's tonight's over.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's it. Easy.
Yeah.
It's going to be easy from here on out.
Yeah, you're good for today. Oh, man.
Just kidding. We got to come back to the draft. We got to do rounds 10 through 14 again.
Yeah, exactly. You got to redo the whole thing. There was talk of that. I'm not going to, there was actually talk.
We almost thought about taking 2 rounds and then taking them back.
I love drafting. That would be awesome.
Yeah. But, for another year.
I don't know if I can pull up the actual draft here.
You want me to bring my other computer over here and just hold it in front of my camera?
Yeah.
Technical.
I'm trying, guys.
And,
Let's talk about the technical difficulties for a moment, shall we? So we were supposed to be on another app, on the Riverside app. A lot of you guys know the Riverside app. I'm not gonna go into it, but we'll just say that the Riverside app did not want to play. So we went back to our home, where we've always broadcast from, and that's Melon. We love Melon. Nothing against Melon. It was a logistics issue why we had to try the Riverside thing, and we ended up coming back to Melon anyway. And I think it worked out way better being on Melon. Melon, superior app. Just one of the big things is on the Riverside is we had to be in 2 rooms and not everybody could talk to each other. On the Melon app, not a problem. Everybody could talk to each other just fine. Yeah, I'm really loving the Melon app. If you guys are going to do podcasts, if you guys are going to create content, if you guys are going to broadcast live or record, it's what we've been using for 2 years now. Definitely go with the Melon app. We've tried the other ones and they just don't measure up.
Yeah, and if anybody's tuning in, don't forget, we still will answer any of your questions. I know most of you already drafted, so you're not really worrying about it. Probably having your own little bye week this week, but we will be, getting ready for week 1. I'm excited for it. I'm pretty sure I'm doing nothing but watching football this weekend, and I better work out or something because it's not going to be good if I just sit there and do football all the time.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do.
Anybody that texts me is gonna get a text back that says football.
Yeah.
So if you know how to get to the draft, how to get me to the draft, I'll just speak on up there.
Settings,
boom.
Yep. League draft results right there. Down, up.
Boom. Thank you very much. All right, so there's the draft results. We can see them all there, and right off the bat, you kind of see. Oh, sorry about that. I want that to go down. I want you to go down. I want you to go down. There we go.
Can't see it. It's still not up.
What? You guys can't see it? Oh,
Nope.
That's horrible. I'm looking at a beautiful draft board right now. Vote. Can you see it, Nick? Because I'm definitely sharing.
No, I'm seeing league settings, it looks like.
Okay. I think you guys were just behind. I see what happened. I think what it did was open another window. So we'll just come over here. And I want to share it. Bear with us, guys, as we navigate through this. So a lot of people don't know that I had to get a new computer to handle all this. There we go. Now you guys can see it, I think.
Not on the screen yet.
Definitely being shared. Oh, that would
There it
help.
is.
There we go. All right.
Look at that terrible draft.
Look at this. It starts off normal. You got Taylor, you've got McCaffrey, you've got Jefferson, and the usual suspects in round one. Round two, pretty normal, and then things start to go off the rails. You'll have to watch the trenches to find out why. And just as you go through this list, you'll see guys like Breece Hall and stuff going, fairly early. But what's really fun is when you get down here and you see an entire round overly
Press that down arrow right there.
Filled.
There you go.
There you go. Down here, you see rounds with all these defenses. A lot of defenses going on. And the fun thing here is what you'll count is this is a 12-person league, and I'm pretty sure if you run that number real quick, you're going to see more than 12 defenses on there. A lot of orange at the tight end position as well.
Yeah, someone went running back, tight end. That's interesting move there.
I wonder what happened. Let's look at your roster, Nick, since you were kind enough to join us.
Yeah.
Started off real nice with McCaffrey and Williams, liking Keenan Allen there. Both Chargers receivers, so getting all those points out of the Chargers. Solid. And then Jackson as your QB, kind of, I'm not going to say early. That's actually a nice spot for Jackson. And then we see Juju Smith-Schuster come in, Pollard coming in, Freiermuth at your tight end position, Singletary, Claypool, Robinson, Madison, and Pacheco, 3 running backs late in a row, and finishing it off with actually a nice pick for the last one with the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, I was happy with the Broncos lasting that far after all those defense going. So I went with both those wide receivers. That was kind of one of those things where one of the rounds kind of got to me. I was coming down to the end. I'd already had one of them, but I was like, you know what? They have there's enough room for both of them to eat. So I went ahead and got both of them. I think they can have both a great year. Lamar Jackson, I felt like the quarterbacks, I didn't know what you guys were going to throw at me. So I felt like having a quarterback there might be just a good idea just in case. Really solid running backs. Singletary, I wasn't really sold on. I just kind of panicked on that one too, and kind of.
I gotta ask you, Nick. Who are you dropping? You can let all the fans know for all of your followers and whatnot. Who are you dropping to pick up a kicker? Because you're looking a little short there.
Let's see. I'm pretty sure I've already done that, but I dropped Pacheco. I dropped him and picked up a kicker just to kind of round out my team so that I wouldn't lose week 1.
That's interesting. You picked Pacheco. I've actually seen Pacheco go a lot higher than that. People taking a chance, obviously, you're filling a bench spot with him and stuff like that. I know you needed a kicker, but when you look at your roster, and I actually do like a lot of your roster, but what made you pick Pacheco, just being the last person you didn't need, or?
He can't discuss it.
Say what?
He said he can't discuss it.
Well, you can talk about why he picked that player.
Okay.
All people.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was supposed to say there.
Yeah. Why? I'm just curious why you picked Pacheco out of all the other players on your board.
And you saying I'm good to go?
You can say why you picked Pacheco.
That's because that was the special 13 round there, Chris.
Oh, that's right. 13. Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, I forgot
Okay.
about round 13.
See, Nick is looking out for you. Nick's got your back right now. He's gonna
Yeah,
get some
yeah.
brownie points there.
So look,
Nice.
what happened in round 13? I guess you'll find out on Thursday. Watch the trenches. Go over to Armchair Athletics, the Armchair Athletics on YouTube. Subscribe today so you know when that episode drops. Yeah, week 13, or I'm sorry, round 13. That was crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I guess that's really all we can say about it till Thursday.
Yep.
Look, like Rube said, if you guys have questions about the season, who to start, we only got 2 days left of football, guys. Like, we are that close.
so ready.
I'm just like really ready.
Ready.
Are you? How many leagues are you doing this year, Nick?
I'm in a ton of them. I would say serious leagues. I'm in about 6. And
6 leagues.
It's
Counting the trenches.
That was the one that rounded it out. I wasn't going to do a 6th one, but then I heard about your guys' program, and I was intrigued because, just being a part of this is fun and having all these challenges. Like, I love challenges like this, and I'm glad that you guys are the ones that came up with it, and I don't even have to think it out. So
we're here with Nick Smith. Nick Smith, a contestant on the trenches. 12 teams come in, 1 team goes out, $5,000. I'm sure you've seen the trailers throughout the preseason and whatnot. Nick, like he said, took a little interest in the show. $5,000. First ever reality TV competition. Everybody was in the room, which was awesome. At Armchair Athletics, we absolutely believe in one-on-one, person-to-person interactions, and we're going to be doing that all year long on the trenches. You guys are going to come along for the ride. You guys can even help players win. All the players have picked charities. You can find those charities under their player profiles. Great intro videos on YouTube. The website, thearmchairathletics.com. You can read more about these guys and find out about these great charities. We've got MDA as a charity. I know the Dan Marino Foundation is on there. Charities giving meals to kids, saving animals. What was your charity, Nick?
Mine was the St. Jude's, just helping out with cancer and trying to find the cures.
Yeah, I was really glad you picked that one. That's a big charity that I really get behind. I'm always giving to St. Jude, and I really like that you picked that charity. What are you reading over there, Rube?
I'm just going through some stuff, trying to think about what we're doing next. Got to prep because football season. We have, let's see, College Chaos coming up. Anybody have any issues with your draft or what's on your roster now? Any questions? I mean, Nick, do you need anybody replaced? Do you think we should replace someone for you?
No. Unless you're going to give me one of the top round picks.
Oh, it doesn't matter what we do. Yeah, it's not gonna matter.
I heard that Pacheco's available.
Yeah,
actually, it's a good pickup right now. I'm just
I needed a kicker. I couldn't wait for him. There's too many running backs.
I took the screen down. I can bring it back up if people want to see it. But I actually didn't hear who you picked for your kicker.
Let me check.
He must have been a doozy. He must have been a great one.
A lot going on there. So I was able, because I picked up the rookie Robinson and he's dealing with his injury. I was able to put him on the IR spot, and I was able to pick up Hopkins.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, that's a good move. I like that, using the IR spot. We talked about this during the show. Watch the trenches Thursday night over on YouTube, on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. It'll be everywhere. And we talked about during the draft when you picked Robinson, and we all really kind of liked that pick in the sense of what he went through and just like the character that this player is showing. And I know that's not exactly why you picked him, but it was, I guess for me, it was kind of like the inspirational pick of the draft. And you didn't have to take him, but you did. And just kind of talk about that a little bit, about the mindset there.
Well, it's just, for me, I think he can come into the season a little bit later, have fresh legs. Maybe Gibson's not doing as well as he should be. And, he's an Alabama kid. He's going to come in. He had a great career there. He might just come in and set the league on fire, just like all the other Alabama running backs that come up. So I felt like he could be a late season run for me when injuries or, lack of production come from that core.
I really like Robinson. If he didn't have the injury that, from the carjacking getting shot, I think he would have moved up the draft board a lot further. So getting him in that late and putting him on the IR and getting yourself another spot, that really does help a lot.
Yeah. Again, we won't talk about the details, but you're kind of forced into that pick. I mean, again, you didn't have to take it when you did. And I think even more so the fact that you are taking advantage of that IR spot with that pick, it really just, bright move. That's impressive. And that's what you're going to see on the trenches. Look, these are not rookies. Not that there's anything wrong with rookies, but when you're playing for $5,000, you kind of want to see the experience. And I think we really saw that tonight in the draft from every single person.
Yeah, it was a really fun draft. Everybody definitely had their strategies, and it definitely showed.
Yeah, I think they changed some strategies too. Like some people are all.
I was just gonna say, I saw a lot of strategies go down the drain.
My strategy was down the drain immediately from 7-2, and taking somebody out. I almost went with Henry, but I just in a PPR league, it's hard to pass up somebody who could take you there.
Now I noticed. Are you taking the bets yourself? Is there a site I can go to? I see Nick at a minus 200 and the field at plus 50,000. I'm not doubting you, Nick, but it's worth $1 or $2 with that plus 50,000 just to see.
Unfortunately, after this draft, I'm going to have to review the odds.
Odds. Can I still get in? And it hasn't changed. I don't know. It might be worth $100 on there. It's already the book is closed.
The book's closed. We didn't do it before.
The book is closed. Yep. You guys had all week, and it's too late now.
I'm not quite sure how the.
I'll do what they do on the site.
There you go.
It was a technical glitch error. Okay.
Yeah.
But the ethics are on betting on your own competition. That's probably not a good thing.
Well, he's out for the season, right? I mean, he kind of bet on it,
That's right.
Ridley.
Look, we're glad to have you here. Say hi. Send us your questions. Make sure you go over to the Armchair Athletics on YouTube. Subscribe because you're not going to want to miss a moment of this. The draft was something I'd definitely never seen before, and that's what this whole season is going to be. But I've definitely never seen a draft like that.
It was probably one of the most special ones of the season, I'm sure. But Nick's here. Nick, you want to shout out to anybody? Say hi to anybody. By all means, you could say, hey, there you go. It was this day. I drafted this day and I ended up winning. Or, you were out, the first round of.
I'll say hi to my fantasy league that I've been playing in for years, the same group. I've moved on to better competition, but I'll still win and still play with you guys. Other than that, I just got to talk a little trash with my spotlight time here.
Yeah, no, look, I mean, he went for it on his intro too. Check out his intro and everybody else's on the YouTube channel, the Armchair Athletics. That's where you'll find all the trenches content this year. You also made history tonight. I mean, I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'll toot that horn. Toot, toot. I mean, the first ever fantasy football reality show. You got the second pick ever. That will forever be there. That draft board will be locked in history, and you're a part of it. I think that's really cool. You've been just a great competitor all the way through the process. Was there anything other than the technical difficulties that have been rampant up until things finally got on track tonight at the last minute? I mean, right before overtime. Is there anything about the process or going through this stuff that kind of has stuck out in your mind or given you anxiety before tonight?
No, the only thing giving me anxiety is you guys keep laughing about, it's going to get worse. So just not knowing is kind of fun, but also gives you a little anxiety.
Do we know who called me a softie?
Yes, I do.
It wasn't me.
Okay.
It wasn't
I think
me.
I thought it was draft
It was
position.
not. It was not him. It was
No,
not him.
No, I know.
I know who it was.
Was it draft position 1?
I was the one that was like, "Oh, I like my draft position," and then you guys were like, "Oh, well," and then I didn't admit up to it.
Snitches get stitches. I will
That's
not
right, yeah.
reveal it,
Yeah.
but it was not position 1 either.
Yeah, I'm doing process of elimination. I'm pretty sure I know, but
Look, guys, the trenches. Check it out. We've got the guys over at Patriot Sports Radio. We've got Nikki Gist on there. We've got Gladys L. Tyler. We've got 2 of the folks from TSS Fantasy. Nat is on there. Who am I missing? Adam Hulse, writer, NFL writer, playing this year. Average Joe for Average Joe Sports Chalk is playing this year. Of course, Nick, the odds maker is hanging in there. I mean, this is really like a strong field. It's a diverse field. We've got women and men who should be seen as equals on the fantasy football platform. And I think tonight's draft definitely proved that there is no gender, sex, or race that has an advantage here. We saw a lot of skill tonight from everybody that showed up for the trenches this season.
I absolutely agree. I mean, they drafted phenomenally. Even with Nikki and Gladys split up, they were still able to be on the phone. Even the spouse team, that was really great to see them just talking it over. I really like the diversity of this, and it shows everybody, what we're all about, because not everybody can be in the same city, in the same room drafting, and we have to sometimes do it online. And this time it was recorded, and I think it turned out phenomenal.
Nick, you're 33, if I remember from the intro. So you're right on that border where you may or may not have had to all be in a room to play fantasy football. When I first started playing fantasy football, we all had to be in the same room. The technology didn't exist for us to have these rooms and do everything electronically. So, Armchair Athletics dialing it back, going old school, trying to put everybody back in a room so you can trash talk instead of trash type. Did you grow up with having to be in the same room, or are you a technology?
No, I'm technology. It was luckily for me. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't want to be a commissioner if I had to do all that stuff.
It was
but I'll
be
a commissioner now. So no, I got lucky. I've pretty much been Yahoo all the way. I've played ESPN a couple times, but Yahoo seems to be the one that I like the most.
Yahoo's good. I agree. I think Yahoo and Sleeper are probably my 2 favorites. I'm not a fan of ESPN at all. I'm sorry. I know some people are. We value your opinion too. Tell us what your favorite platform is, if you agree or disagree. But
I have to use another app to find out what bye weeks my players have on ESPN because I can't see it. So right there, that's a problem for me. So I go to other apps, figure out what I want to do, and then go back to that one, and then it's just a hassle. That'll probably be the last time I play that one. So,
well, yeah, I do that. I draft from. I'll do drafts on all sorts of different platforms, just to kind of. Sometimes their players will fall further than others, so you'll be like, oh, well, maybe I can get them in this round. It's nice to see it from their perspective on a different, like ESPN versus Yahoo and so forth.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, 100%. Nick, we're doing an abbreviated show. Normally yards after the catch, 8:30 every Tuesday. But of course, we are recording the draft of the trenches this season. So coming on a little late. We wanted to make sure we hit everybody up and let everybody know why we were late and what is coming this season. You're just not ready, but you can watch it all. And you can watch Nick here make his run at the $5,000. Good draft tonight. I know. I think I'm happier with your draft than you are, but you're definitely in the mix along with everybody else. Week 1, the trenches. catch draft day and all the excitement this Thursday. Nick, I want to wish you the best of luck. And you know, do you have anything to bounce out with?
Nope. Other than come watch me win, and I'll have fun showing you guys my strategy to get into the finals. So thanks for getting this all set up, and it was a pleasure being on here.
I'm waiting to see what the odds are next week. See if I can still get in on that. Thank you, Nick, for joining us tonight, and best of luck on the trenches.
All right. Take care, guys.
Thanks,
Take
Nick.
care. Yeah, great recovery, especially with the stuff that was thrown at him, and the things that happened to him specifically. I thought he really made a fantastic adjustment. And I hadn't noticed until we started talking about this that he has Keenan Allen and Mike Williams on his roster. That's going to be some points, I think.
The problem, you know, I've seen people do it, you know, with running backs, you know, or wide receiver, tight end. Those two wide receivers, I'm not upset about it. It's gonna, it might cost you a week or two, but for the most part, they're gonna put up decent points. More so than, I mean, what has he got? Juju Smith-Schuster, Claypool. I mean, that's it. Those are his wide receivers, 4 wide receivers. So
Juju is such a wild card because we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we haven't, you know, he hasn't lived up to the hype with Roethlisberger, but now he's got Patrick Mahomes. We saw what Patrick Mahomes has done with Hill and Kelsey and all these other great receivers.
I drafted Juju a lot. I don't know why. Maybe because Tyreek Hill is gone, and I feel like he's going to get a largest chunk of that. Like, it'll spread out other places, but I just feel like he may not have the chemistry yet. But I mean, that's a lot of targets to just disappear into other people's hands and not Juju. So for him to get that, was it 6th round?
Yeah,
I don't hate that. I mean,
back to back.
Mahomes.
I mean, you got him back to back. That's,
yeah.
Like you said, I'm not mad at that. What I'm doing here is I am looking up. I want to see the numbers. Where are we at? I want to see the numbers for both Allen and Mike Williams. Just looking this up. You guys know where I go. You know I go to fantasypros.com. Love the work that they do out there. Just got to flip this to PPR. And last year by fantasy points, and it's nice and easy because they're right up there towards the top. Keenan Allen, 257 fantasy points. A little more if you're playing the decimal system there. Keenan Allen finished 11 with 257.8. Where do you think Mike Williams finished? Keenan Allen's 11. Where's Mike Williams?
13.
Actually 12, right after him. So you're talking, he just got wide receiver 11 and 12, got them back to back, just like they finished in the same order. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, 246. You're looking at 400, over 500 fantasy points, 503 fantasy points between two guys. Not too shabby.
Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of doing that, but given the opportunity, it's still a decent amount of points. You know, he's probably going to give you at least 15, somewhere around there. It's going to be a safe floor. For the most part. I mean, they're going to have a lot of shootouts. You know, that's a pretty difficult division.
When I look at the other combos, okay, Kupp scored so high you could beat that because he had 439 by himself. He's probably not going to get 439 fantasy points again this year, but he's still going to be very high up there, probably well into the 300s. With Allen on the other side, I think they could probably eclipse that 500 mark. I think those two together will finish higher than Allen and Williams. But when you look at some of the other guys, you talk about Devontae Adams. I guess you would pair him with Renfro. Being in the new system, I don't know if they necessarily
they wouldn't hit it. I don't
outscore Allen and Williams. Debo Samuel with Ayuk. Probably definitely not. Jefferson and Thielen, maybe close.
That's a good one. I mean, that's safer.
You got Jamar Chase. I think there you got a winner, Jamar Chase, and honestly pick another receiver because they do pass that around. But I think you
Was it
have a
T.
chance there.
Higgins?
Yeah, Higgins is who I would pair that with. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle remains to be seen. I think they could definitely eclipse out the Allen Williams combo, if you will.
He said it's a more accurate quarterback. I may be just sticking up for him, but I would say that's if it is true, then Tua has to be going off. So we'll see.
Got my headphones all messed up here. Where
I
we
was
got
calling you names.
Yeah, Stefan Diggs and Gabriel Davis, another combo I think that could definitely outperform the Allen Williams stack. But then after that, it just starts definitely going downhill a little bit. We see Mike Evans. Mike Evans, who would you pair him with if you were going to stack?
Julio Jones.
You think so? I know we have the health issues with Godwin and stuff. Yeah, I guess you have to.
And that's what I would go with it.
Yeah, unless you think Godwin's going to be absolutely healthy. Interesting question. Something I think we can explore more throughout the week.
Actually, would you want?
What's the stack? If you were going to have a wide receiver stack for this season, what's the one that you would choose? Nick Smith from the trenches. It has the Keenan Allen, Mike Williams stack. Rather intentional or not, which stack would you get?
Which stack would you rather have? Evans and Julio Jones, or Metcalf and Lockett?
Oh, definitely Evans and Julio. You got Brady throwing the ball. Give me a break. I'll take that stack over most any of them. I really like that. I mean, the Allen Williams stack is definitely probably top 3 or 4 for me throughout the league.
Sutton and Jerry Jeudy.
That's a nice stack. I don't think they beat the Allen Williams stack though.
I don't think anybody's going to this. Even I know people don't repeat a lot, but I think Chargers are going off, and I say that because I have Herbert in several of my leagues, Williams several of my leagues, and Allen also. So not on the stack, but I do have the quarterback wide receiver stack. So I'll take
that. So the wide receiver stack, I think Cup and Cup and Robinson definitely there. Chase and Higgins, probably I'm going to go with as being number 2. I don't know. Jefferson Thielen, I think, could be up there, but I do think Allen and Williams could still beat that stack. That's maybe like 3-4 respectively, and then Hill and Diggs and Davis, I think, actually beat that. So maybe drop those 2 to 4 and 5. And
Kevin Tyner says Evans and Jones. Andrew Corp says Debo and Ayuk, but he's 49er bias. So
he is 49er bias.
I mean, if that QB, Mr. Trey Lance, is really going to be the guy, and he doesn't rush more than 1,000 yards, if he actually passes, I think that would be okay. But isn't Debo a little questionable? He got a little question mark next to him.
I don't think so. I think after what we saw him do last year, and now that he's going to get to focus in one spot, he won't have to run that ball so much. I mean, don't get me wrong. They guarantee he's going to run some balls. He's going to run some plays. There's going to be a little trickery and strategery going on with Debo. But for the most part, I think being able to focus on the wide receiver position, I think he's going to go beast mode a little, to be honest.
I really want Lance to just like pull a Lamar Jackson and, a Josh Allen type scoring, just something just really exciting. I think I said it 3 weeks ago that he's probably going to win someone's league. You're welcome, Andrew. Draft him. Sorry if he busts. That's what happens in fantasy football. I've done it many times. Not this year though. I'm still winning one of my leagues after all my drafts. I know I'm still winning at least one.
That's right. At least one.
At least one.
How many? As we start on the downslope and get ready to wrap this up. unfortunately, because I love to talk football forever. How many leagues are you in? I'm putting you on the spot because I'm trying to. You see, my eyes keep going up because I'm trying to figure out how many I am. I think I'm 5 or 6.
I'm 5 or 6. I think it's 5.
Yeah, you're 5.
I have 2 8-team leagues, 2 12, and 2 or 1.
The 16 team league.
16
yeah.
team.
Yeah. So
I gotta have some time for DraftKings.
Do you have any more drafts left?
I don't know. We're gonna do another league. Let's do it. No, I don't.
Lucky number 7. Let's go.
Yeah, I have 2 8 teams, 2 12 teams, and a 16. I think that's it. And I don't know if I want another one. Because I'm about to get 1.3 million off of DraftKings this weekend with all my sleepers. Yeah, that's what it says I'm going to win. And then by like mid first quarter, it's down to like $6. So
are you coming back after you win it? Will you be back?
Oh yeah, because then I can pursue it full time. So
there you go. Write
that
down.
down.
Write that down. Hashtag write that down. Nice. Tell the fans of the show, hashtag write that down. Something we've been throwing around this year. But we've definitely got a few things written down already. And we'll get those up for you guys to see. I'm gonna put that on you because I have an entire season of the trenches to edit. So
yeah, I think we need to just pump the brakes and just take what we have now, and we need to win as much money as possible, and then we'll go from there.
No more leagues. I do still have one draft left. I have a draft tomorrow night, which will be a nice break from editing to go ahead and get some drafting done. Matter of fact, I think it's going to stream live. Fourth and Flex is running that draft. Good old Bandy over there at Fourth and Flex. The Bandy Bowl kicking off.
Sorry.
Oh, there you go. See,
I'm watching us live.
Watch us live. Why not?
A view.
Everyone else is.
Everybody's doing it.
Everybody's doing it. Welcome, Patriot Sports Radio. You guys have the link. You guys should be on, not in my comment box right now. You guys should be on the screen right now. PSR Patriot Sports Radio. First pick. Let's effing go. First pick in this year's the first ever trenches draft, first ever reality draft in
Terrible
history.
First pick, by the way.
Terrible with JT. Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, I picked him too. So JK, LOL.
I tell you what I liked about watching Patriot Sports draft Chris and Eric up there in Wisconsin. Wisconsin is all the stuff that the trenches threw at them. They're big strategy guys. They kind of had everything laid out before the draft ever started. And the trenches just threw them off the rails. They made really great adjustments. Don't get me wrong. You can look at that first round.
They sent me that. I printed out their draft strategy with all the paperwork that they sent me, and it didn't go well for them at all.
They definitely had to, let that expertise run through. But I felt like they did a good job. I don't know.
I mean, Taylor, Pitts, Allen, Dylan, Hall, Robinson. Yeah, they did say they liked the mid-round wide receivers, and I agree with them. There's a lot of value there. And towards the end, I mean, I feel like they had it the easiest, to be honest. I mean,
you have the first pick. That's always nice.
Being on the turn.
Yeah, we'll bring that up there. I don't know. First round, I mean, the first pick, it's always kind of hard. I personally don't like the first pick. How do you feel about the first pick? Sorry, guys.
I love it because I was actually in that position, and I did take Jonathan Taylor, so I was just, messing with him. In the middle rounds, I just don't like to be in the middle. I tend to reach too much, mess too much up, get sniped way too often. I like to be on the ends or closer to it. Makes it easier for me, especially I think somebody was also drafting 3 drafts tonight, and that could get pretty hectic. So anything you can do to kind of alleviate reaching, giving, if you gotta, you gotta go on a potty break or whatever you gotta do, no worries. I like the spot, and them getting Taylor, Pitts, and Allen, the first 3 picks. That's solid. You're hitting all your parts you need to hit.
Maybe you're not gonna do that in an actual draft. Maybe that's not the order that you're gonna do it. But those are definitely 3 guys that anybody would want on their team. Like you said, I mean, let's knock this out real quick in the last 10 minutes that we have here. Don't
forget about that college chaos.
Let's knock out some draft grades real fast.
Okay.
Hey, so for Patriot Sports Radio, first pick, again, not their fault. Remember, on the trenches, anything can happen, and it did. So we see Taylor, Dillon, Breece Hall, Cook, and who's that? Henderson, right? For the running back room. Obviously, you got to like the Taylor pick. Everything else kind of a little bit of chances and stuff like that. So Taylor elevates your grade, but I'm going to give him a C for that running back room. You could say B-. Allen at quarterback, that's obviously an A. Wide receivers, you see 4 wide receivers in a row, but also the only 4 that they had. How are you feeling about those receivers?
I really like the receivers. I mean, you're going to start 2 of them each week, and you just got to hope that you're getting someone with a soft defense, which is also going to be in a shootout. So I think you can get some of that at least with 2 or 3 of them, but there's still some question marks. But I still like that position because normally that doesn't get hurt as often. But let's pump the brakes because that happens sometimes in this one.
Robinson, Thielen, Smith, and Lazard. If you can't see it, I really like Lazard that late. And the thing with that is you've got the number 2s. You got Robinson, wide receiver 2, Thielen, wide receiver 2, Devontae Smith, wide receiver 2. Lazard might be your wide receiver 1 there, but Green Bay, of course, got to sort that out. Second pick, we already talked to Nick. Nick was on the show with us.
I'll give him a C, but yeah.
You give him a C total? Yeah, I give him a C total. Christian McCaffrey, if you believe in Christian McCaffrey, great pick. Javonte Williams. We got the Allen Williams stack going. Jackson at the quarterback. Schuster back to the running back with Pollard, Freiermuth in the middle, Singletary, Claypool, Robinson, Madison, Pacheco, who we know has already dropped for a kicker, and Broncos defense. Again, I like this roster. He didn't like it as much, but McCaffrey and Williams, I like that combo there, especially when you got Pollard to play in a flex spot anytime you want. The Allen Williams stack, we already said, probably maybe 5th, 6th best stack if you were going to do a wide receiver stack that you could have with Smith Schuster's ceiling being unknown. Factor in a little Claypool, and he had brought up the injuries in with the Pittsburgh receiving core. I like it. I score this probably a good BB- myself.
It's funny you say that. People are a little upset about that. I mean, if he would have held on to Pacheco, it probably would have been an A-, but I'm going to give him a B. I hope he hears that.
Yeah. Andrew brought up that the rosters are already changing dramatically just since the end of the draft. Welcome to the trenches, people. That's going to be something that you're going to see a lot. Jordan already starting the first week shenanigans. If anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Jordan. Check out the first episode of the trenches this Thursday. You'll be glad you did. We had some difficulties with Alex Whitlock, but you can learn all about him at the Armchair Athletics YouTube channel. Go subscribe today and see everybody's intros. Took Jefferson number 1 with the 3rd pick, moved on to Connor, got Andrews at tight end. Don't judge people. It's the trenches. You don't know what happened. You'll find out. Herbert for his quarterback. Really like having Herbert and Jefferson on the same team, especially with Andrews in there in the middle. Waddle, Stevenson, Brady. He's got Herbert and Brady. I don't know if anybody noticed this yet until I just now brought it up. But he's got Herbert and Brady.
I wonder why.
Hines, Mooney, Tony, Cowboys defense, Texans defense, which I'm sure he's dropped by now, and Gainwell in the middle. Look, you've got Jefferson, Andrews, Herbert, and Brady. That's enough to throw you in the A column right there. Connor, a nice solid, good ceiling back, probably in the B- zone. Waddle, I'm going to give a C at. Stevenson and Hines. Hines probably a D. Stevenson, Hines is a D behind Taylor. I don't like any New England running backs. Mooney and Tony, potential guys. We'll see what happens with them. I like the potential in this one. I'm giving it a C+.
If he would trade away Herbert for somebody, due to what happened during the draft, I would trade Herbert away and get some a lot for him. But
yeah, you could definitely get a lot for Herbert. And that's interesting. You say that you would trade Herbert over Brady. I'm not sure there's a wrong answer there.
I would, because of what I know, it's just because there's only one quarterback position they can put in there. So you're clearly going to hang on to Brady, or at least you got to watch reason why. I would play Brady early and then trade Brady away for reasons to be told later. But his running back core is abysmal, and I am not digging his wide receivers either. I mean, just bye weeks are going to kill him, I think. It's not. I'm going to have to give him a D+.
Oh, ouch. Going down. Jason Cooper over at TSS Sports started off with Henry and Hill, went Mitchell, had to go Gibson, Judy, Russell Wilson, and Kirk Cousins back to back. Watch the trenches. You'll find out why. Burks, I really like as a rookie this year. I can't believe that he made it all the way to round 8. Hopkins, Goddard, Rams defense, Boyd and Ingram. And Gay for his kicker. I am liking this team too. Henry and Mitchell. A lot of people shying away from Gibson. Gibson, not a guy I'm putting on my team, but as it was stated during the draft, with Wentz at quarterback, you have to expect your running back to get some work. Judy, you got Wilson and Cousins on the same roster. I mean, that's insane. Somebody's mad about that. Like you said, maybe good trade bait. Burks, we'll see what happens, but huge ceiling, I think, for the rookie. Again, I really like this roster. Maybe not the depth you're looking for, but I think the starters are big time, big name, big point getting starters. Probably a B-. B-. B-.
I'm going to say, just starting off first couple of weeks without injuries, he's going to be up there, but there could be some problems here later on. I do like the stacks he has. Yeah. I'm going to give him a C+ just because if Mitchell goes down and Gibson's hurt, or Robinson comes back and takes over the job, his running back core is going to be real slim, and there's a lot of question marks there. So
I can see it.
And you're waiting for D-Hop, after 6 weeks. So it's scary. It's scary right now.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about C+, but like you said, the stacks. Let's see. Nat comes in next. Mixon and Jones. Love that running back combination right there. I think that's a strong team to have together. George Kittle. I'm really liking Kittle as one of the top tight ends. Sutton, Thomas, and Cooks. Are you kidding me right now? Prescott. Say what you want about Prescott. He puts up fantasy numbers, and I see no reason he won't still. Woods, a lot of, good, still wide receiver too. Penny and Robinson, they're going to get work. Saints defense all that late is fantastic. Fields is your backup. Butker as your Kansas City, or excuse me, as your kicker, and Valdes-Scantling as the last pick. Can't be mad getting Scantling as the last pick. This team's got to be what, an A-. It has to be.
At least, like, you know what? When you were saying everything, I'm like, this is an A- team. This has a chance to go all the way.
Insane.
I wish there was just one more running back after those first two that was really a for sure thing.
But
you got so much value at wide receiver and quarterback and tight end that, I mean, your lineup is set every week right now. You don't have to think about it.
Well, and the thing is Mixon doesn't have a bye week till week 10. Jones doesn't have his bye week till 14. So we're talking, you're in the playoff realm right there as far as the trenches goes before you really have to put someone else in there. I mean, Penny, Robinson and Penny probably aren't working anymore at that point, but you might be able to negotiate a trade or get somebody off the wire for that week 10 to get in, start taking you in the playoffs, and then you're good. The two ladies, Nikki and Gladys, they come up with Cup and Barkley as 1 and 2. If you believe in Barkley, it's a fantastic pairing, and then with Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback, can't help but love it. They talk about Montgomery, being one or two people that are going to generate any odd offense in Chicago. Johnson, as long as he doesn't get injured. And then it starts going Edmonds, St. Brown to take the tight end. Gordon, who I think was a great pick that late. Tua, the Ravens, Knox, Landry, and McManus. Look, I like the first half of this roster. The second half is a little questionable, and so that puts them in the C plus C, solid C category for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm thinking the running back's a little scary. It started off really good. I'm gonna have to give C plus. It was like really close to a B minus though.
So close. Andrew gets Harris and Chubb. Again, another nice combination. Andrew and Kate. Don't only forget about Kate.
Go Kate.
D. Waller at tight end. Questionable tight end. Could pay off, though. A lot of people down on him. Doesn't mean it's going to happen that way. DJ Moore, a lot of people up on DJ. Murray as your quarterback and Rodgers as the backup. Killer QB combination. Brown, Hollywood in the middle, and Lockett. I think that is a question mark for me, and those are receivers 2 and 3. But then you go Patterson, Cooper, Dubs. Great pickup late. McPherson is the kicker, and they had Giants and Chargers defense. I'm sure they kept the Chargers. I like the way it started off. The wide receiver room scares me a little bit. The lack of depth scares me a little bit. Again, I'm going to have to go with a C, maybe even the quarterbacks bring it up a little bit. I'll go with a C, solid C on this one, maybe a C plus.
Yeah, you only have 3 running backs there. If I played fantasy football before, you're going to get hurt. And those go down, your season's going to be over. So, and then you have to trade away probably a quarterback and some wide receivers. And yeah, I don't think you have the value to get what you really want for other people. So yeah, this is definitely a C minus for me. This is real scary.
I really like the running back room personally with Harris, Chubb, and Patterson.
Yeah. Kevin says C's get degrees, so there's that.
Yeah. Dropped the Chargers and the Giants and picked up the Titans for defense is what they did. I definitely would have kept the Chargers myself. I really like the Chargers defense this year, but hey, it's not my team. It's not my $5,000 to win. Andrew and Kate, of course, competing on the trenches as we just went through their draft. Adam Holtz, writer, NFL writer, goes Chase, Lamb, Samuel. So, waiting on doing the zero running back strategy. It's a fantastic wide receiver room right there. Chase, Lamb, and Samuel, huge points coming out of there. Went with Cam Akers, believes in Cam Akers. I don't. He does. There you go. Dobbins and Pierce. I really like the Pierce pick. Not sure about J.K. Dobbins pick. That's coming from Ohio State guy, but with Lamar there, you have to wonder, and coming off the injury. Takes Trey Lance for the quarterback. Again, believer and that gives him the Lance Samuel stack. and then you just kind of plug and play in with Kmet at tight end, more Carter, two New York Jets guys back to back. You can find out why when you watch the trenches on Thursday. More Algier for a nice late round rookie. I really like that pick. Jaguars and Blankenship. This roster started off so strong. The starters with Chase, Lamb, Samuel in the flex, Akers, Pierce for your running backs, Lance, Kmet. That's a starting roster anybody would be proud to have. Is definitely going to win some games. I'm not sure about the depth, but just the strength of those starting five right there, I'm going to give him a B-.
Yeah, that's a little high for me. I think his running back room could be questionable. I mean, it'll probably be is Akers really going to start? I know Dobbins is looking real sketchy right now. It's going to be Pierce and probably Algier by mid-season or something. So I'm going to have to give him a C just because I love his wide receiver room, but it's going to be those three, and two of them are going to be out week 9, and
that's where he might run into some
probably a loss week 9. Just saying.
I don't like to change my grades, so I won't. But you bring up some very valid points. Jordan getting sniped from both sides. He's just in one of those spots. Those 6, 7, 8, 9 spots. They get sniped all the time. They sit there and snipe each other all day. Starts off with Eckler, love it. Kelsey, love it. Schultz, love it. Pittman and Davis. Are you kidding me? Man, the Pittman Davis run right there, just wow. Kareem Hunt definitely could pay off as the season goes on. Carr for the quarterback. I like the upside. I like the ceiling. Ayuk and London, again, just adding on to that receiver core. Bills defense, fantastic defense. White's going to play. Don't you worry about it. More for wide receiver out of Arizona. Bears defense and Dotson. I know he was a little worried about getting sniped. I really, really like his roster a lot. I'm going to give him, again, I think I'm going to get into the B- category. You know what? No, I'm giving him a B. I'm giving him a solid B. I am.
Well, I love his wide receiver core. He has a lot of potential there. He's got 2 great tight ends. I think he has a really high upside quarterback. It's just those running backs, man.
The running back is the issue. You got Eckler at number 1, but then you've got Hunt and White, number 2 guys, and you've only got 3. I know I said I don't like to change grades, but
I can't. I
can't ignore that. C+. I dropped all the way from a B to a C+ right there because of that running back.
Yeah, I'm running backs get hurt, and he's got 2 number 2s, and if Eckler goes down, he's going to end up losing. He's going to have to make some major trades, and they're going to know that he's hurting, so they're not going to trade with him, or they're going to expect something more. I would start making trades now. Try to get yourself some running back depth, but this is definitely a C- for me.
Yeah, it's got some receivers for those trades. Average Joe's EVO, Average Joe Sports Talk. Dalvin Cook, Swift, and ETN, 3 running backs. Some people going no running backs. He went 3 running backs in a row. I like all these running backs. I'm not a big Swift fan, but I know a lot of people are, so I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt on the Swift pick and not try to be too biased about it. A.J. Brown and Metcalf, not a big Metcalf person, but he's still DJ Metcalf. He's hindered by the guy throwing the ball. Takes Jalen Hurts, who's basically like having a quarterback and a running back in the same person. And then Bateman, I love Pickens this year. I think he's a candidate for the Roy. Damian Harris, Renfro, I think is going to do better than last year. Garrett Wilson, going with them Buckeyes. Smith at tight end. Mariota for his second quarterback. We got Hurts and Mariota. I'm not mad at that. Prater at his kicker. Look, the running back room, super strong. The wide receiver room is what's really hurting here. Quarterbacks are nice. The tight end, the rest of it will do you. Probably a C+. I think maybe the strength of the running back room will go ahead and let me give you a C+, but really I want to say C because of the lack of depth at wide receiver.
You know, when you're looking at this, he does have the wide receivers that you kind of want. He has A.J. Brown to go along with Hurts, but he also has Bateman. So that's his 2 starting. He's probably going to end up starting his first 3 picks right there, one of them in the flex with Hurts and Irv Smith, who's supposed to be going off. I still think he has a lot of potential here. I really, really want to give this a B-.
Yeah.
Like I'm flirting with C+, C-, and I know I'm going to do a lot of C's because nobody really drafts perfectly because it turns into chaos. But
and it's week 1.
I'm gonna give him B-. Just he waited on tight end or got lucky too, and I think Hurts is going to be going off this year. ETN and Swift, apparently people are high on them. So as long as Cook stays healthy and ETN does what he was supposed to do, I think this could be up there, with Nat. So pretty close if everything, injury wise. We know
some of this stuff is looking weird to you guys. That's because you have no idea what just happened, but you will Thursday night on the trenches. Head over to the Armchair Athletics YouTube page. Subscribe. Make sure you catch that episode. You won't believe what transpired. Sir Beans with double running back, which I like. Kimura and Fournette, probably not the 2 I would have taken, but still solid running backs. Higgins, McLaurin, and Godwin. You got Wentz throwing McLaurin the ball. Higgins is a great pick. We know you're good there. Godwin coming off the injury, so we'll have to see what happens. Jacobs filling in that 3rd running back role, kind of on the same tier, I think, for the backups. When you're probably, you're only going to use them once or twice. I think Kamara and Fournette still stay your starters unless something happens. Stafford at quarterback, obviously, I think that's a great pick. Kirk, I don't like it when people get paid. When people get the bag, I see their stats go down. But we'll see what if Austin's pick pays off there. Hawkinson at tight end, really late to get Hawkinson, I think. Yeah, really late.
That's probably the best pick of the draft.
That might be the best value that you're going to see on this board. Gallup, 49ers defense, Julio Jones. I believe in Julio. I think he's the wide receiver 2. And then Lutz, 2 kickers with Lutz and Bass. I'm sure he's probably changed that by now. Again, I hate to keep saying C. I kind of got to go C- on this one. But I like the Hawkinson pick. That's just such a great pick, man. We're definitely in the C cat. I'll give him a C because of that.
When you do something like Fournette and Godwin, when you get to Tampa Bay and you don't take Tom Brady, it just kind of doesn't make sense to me. So even if Josh Jacobs is there, which is probably what he should have done anyway.
Yeah.
And with a question mark with Stafford's going to probably muscle through it and play through it. I've seen him.
I think he'll be fine.
I'm not worried about him. I'm gonna just give him a C just because his first wide receiver is the second one on that team. So
yeah.
Same with Godwin and McLaurin's little question mark. I mean, Kirk's like the only number 1 really out of that whole wide receiver core, if you will.
Some good values there. Kirk and Hawkinson back to back like that. And last, always a hard spot to draft from, in my opinion, but a lot of people love it. Adams, going 0 running back strategy. We got Adams, Diggs, and Evans. Fantastic wide receiver core. Maybe not the order I would have took them, but the fact you got Adams, Diggs, and Evans from the 12th spot, fantastic job. Goes with Elliott. I'm actually an Elliott believer this year. I think he bounces back. Not everybody is, especially with Pollard in the picture. Kyle Edwards-Helaire, not a fan at all, but you got to get a running back, and we don't know that something didn't happen there. Joe Burrow and Winston back-to-back. Again, 2 elite quarterbacks, in my opinion. I think Winston is going to finish top 5. Hashtag write that down. I think Winston's going to surprise some people this year, maybe top 6. Chris Olave, Sanders, Walker. Really kind of interesting you got Walker that late. I think that's still a good value. Not the best one, but I think Walker might be a decent value there at 10. Buccaneers defense, Zach Ertz, and again, 2 kickers in Fairburn and Carlson. I'm sure he's changed that by now. The Adams, Diggs, Evans is just ridiculous. to me, automatic A. And then it starts to go downhill. You got Burrow and Winston, that keeps it in the A category. But the running back room is where I really see the weakness with Elliott, Edwards, Sanders, and Walker. Even the ceiling, I don't think gets that high. So for me, I probably C minus. I don't like giving D's, so I will go C minus here. But the quarterbacks and wide receivers are definitely save this team for me.
Right there at 5th round, where we went Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Burrow, I would have probably went back-to-back running back right there.
Yeah, you might have, but you weren't drafted in the trenches.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking there, and I think somebody panicked for sure, but I would have went running back, and not Clyde Edwards-Helaire, not Burrow, and just waited and get like Pierce and Stevenson and Edmonds. I mean, anybody else.
Well, I think you're forgetting that they didn't know what was going to happen in round 7. They had no clue about round 7, just like everybody else. But you can find out on Thursday by watching the trenches what happened in round 7. But so when he made that Burrow pick, he had no idea what was about to happen. Yeah,
that's true. I mean, if it wasn't for that running back room, I mean, if Edwards-Helaire finally goes off, that would be great. But he was good for a very, very short time and nothing really since. So there's too many question marks in that running back room. I'm gonna just give him a C. If he would have, it would have been an A team if he would have got back-to-back better running backs there in the 5-6 turn. But it would have had an A. It would have been a contender. Sorry, Chef.
I still think everybody's a contender. I really do. I really don't think anybody's out of this. But I think, well, for me, I'm going to go Rebel 31 as the winner of this draft in the 5th spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th spot. I just love that roster. Not the only one to think so. Even people within the trenches said so during the draft. We'll see if it pans out. But coming out of the draft room, my top pick is Rebel 31. How about you?
Yeah, that'll probably be mine too. Which one did I give a D to? Because Kevin's asked to throw some D's on that. And I agree. I did throw one of them.
You did. I
think it was the 4 spot, wasn't it?
It might have been. We'll have to go back. We'll have to check the tape.
We'll have to check that. But yeah, there was 1 D, couple of C's, couple of B's, and 1 or 2 A's.
A lot of C's here because and C stands for ceiling. If you got a C, then that means that to me a C grade is not a bad grade. It just means that we're going to find out if we're right or wrong during the season. So our abbreviated yards after the cat show. We still got to talk some college chaos, and we're not going to skip it because look, it was the first week of college football. We're not skipping over that. There were some really good games. The Ohio State Notre Dame game, a lot closer than it should have been. I said I didn't think that they were going to cover that 18, and they did not. Still coming out victorious, so I was happy. Oklahoma took a minute to get started, but they finished strong.
Talk about Oklahoma. This is not your time. They took a minute. You know how many sacks they had?
Look,
more than the whole last year. No, I'm just kidding. Finally. So there was some college chaos. I did do South Florida upset BYU. That did not happen, but I got to pick something.
You did. It's hard to pick in week 1 for upsets because most people don't really try to bring it in week 1. They want that week 1 victory.
I think there was another one, but I did pick Florida upsets number 7 Utah, and it did happen.
You did. You were absolutely right.
I'll take that any day.
Kevin
twice on Sundays.
I can't get my mouth to work. But Kevin says Oklahoma took a minute to get to 21 and then slowed down a bit. That's what I'm saying.
That's probably
sure Kevin means it took exactly a minute, I think is what Kevin's implying.
Yeah, it was. That's what we do. We just get a lot of scores on the board and then just let everybody else play. It's kind of like Little League. Everybody gets a chance. Yeah. And then we end up looking ugly and then not getting the respect, kind of like some of the other teams.
Well, I got to give you guys some crap, man.
Yeah, but you know what? When I was watching them make some tackles, I've never seen one person get tackled by 3 Oklahoma players multiple times in a game, or if it ever. And so that was pretty impressive to me to see everybody just going for it. So I like the defense, but we'll move on from Oklahoma for at least this week. We'll see what the real rankings are in several weeks. But these
That's
rankings
right.
don't really mean anything right now. But
I don't. They're just placeholders.
how far did they move up Texas for Alabama this week?
I haven't checked because
I know it's probably ridiculous.
So hard on the trenches, to make sure that everybody gets to enjoy this. I know you've been working hard on it. So many people working hard to get the trenches out, and that I haven't even checked the rankings to see how they change. But some really good college action this weekend, even for it being week 1. There was still, some quality games. It's good to see that in week 1, I think.
Yeah. Well, I only got 2 college chaos this week. See if you can jump on board. I wanted to do a third one, but then we had to get to work for the trenches. So I'm going to say Florida upsets number 20, Kentucky.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like, can you consider that as much of an upset anymore after what we just saw? I mean, they kind of had to gut it out, and obviously, I think it was a 3-point victory, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, a win's a win, inch or a mile, a win's a win. I don't know if it's I just don't think it's that much out on a limb. I definitely have your back on that one. I definitely think Florida upsets Kentucky. I just don't know if it's as big of an upset as we would like it to be.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's what I'm just like trying to wait for those real rankings to come out. Makes college chaos way more fun. And Kevin says that was his first college game he ever watched. I hope you had a lot of fun. They're way more exciting out there on the field, unless it's like 1,000 degrees. But, I'd rather be playing in the game than sitting in the stands with no wind. So my last one, because I'm way out on a limb here, because like you said, that's not really an upset for the first one. So we're going to go with Texas upsetting Alabama. And Texas is at home. The spread's like 400. I don't know what it is.
You're saying, hold on.
A University of Texas, the Longhorns, are going to beat Alabama this weekend. What is it, 11 o'clock game?
It must be late. That's what?
It's an 11 o'clock game. Alabama doesn't get up that early. Alabama plays at night, and they're lucky, and they're playing at home like 8 times this year. So this is the one that I can only go for because Alabama should probably take the rest of them. Should.
I know that you have to make these picks.
I have to go out on a limb. What was I, like 30% last year? That's pretty good considering I'm probably going to lose each one of these.
You just picked Texas up, like that's the one you go for?
There's a few others that they weren't that exciting. I got to get something juicy. Like, oh yeah, okay.
Holy cow.
Can you imagine the excitement of
I mean,
that would shake things up so much. But I had to do something different than just, number 23 loses. Number 1's going down.
Okay, so your Florida-Kentucky pick is already disqualified. Florida's now 12 and Kentucky's 20.
Oh,
so you've lost that one already.
All right, Kentucky's winning it. Let's switch it up.
You're going to take Kentucky over? Yeah, that's
God, no.
What are you doing?
That would be terrible. Are you kidding? Like, isn't Florida at home?
Yeah, sure is.
Where's Oklahoma ranked?
Look, I don't 7. I'll be honest, I don't know if I see any upside. I mean, you've got
I didn't see many.
17 Pittsburgh at 24 Tennessee, but I'm still taking Pittsburgh in that one.
I wanted to take Tennessee, but
I mean,
Tennessee was at home.
That would have made a little more sense than Texas over Alabama. What are you doing? South Carolina, Arkansas, that has interest, but I don't think
come at me.
Raptors going to get it done. I can't. Hashtag come at me. I can't. There's nothing. There's nothing there. There's nothing. I have no upsets for you, which means there'll probably be like 5. College Chaos presented to you by Roop. There it is. And why not? Draft Day Dice. College Chaos this week presented by Draft Day Dice and The Trenches. Don't forget to watch The Trenches this Thursday. 12 teams come in, 1 team comes out. $5,000 on the Armchair Athletics. Go subscribe today so you don't miss an episode.
Thanks, Kevin.
Take us home.
Oh, listen, Kevin's about to make some money or lose some money. Who knows? Trenches is on fire, ready to go. Week
Holy
1.
cow.
I hope they're ready. I know I'm ready. I'm not going to be available this weekend because I'll be screaming at the TV or looking at all my lineups, but it's going to be fun. Football is back finally. So let's have some fun with it. Let's talk a little trash, even if it is week 1. It's okay. That's what we're here for. And then you just eat your words a few weeks later, and then when you play somebody again, you talk that same trash. It doesn't matter, but have some fun with it. Chris, take us home, baby.
But if you want to win your leagues, come right here, Yards After the Catch. Ask your questions because we got the answers that you need. If you want to have some fun, go subscribe to the Armchair Athletics on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook as well, and you'll be able to see the episodes of the Trenches there as well. Get yourself some draft day dice. I understand maybe your draft is over already, but there's a lot of different ways that you can incorporate this into your season. You're definitely going to want them for next year. Man, that really was a lot of fun having those in that draft.
It was,
it was a good time.
It's scary, but I kind of maybe wanted to use it more often, but I just never rolled the triple. So
man, so lucky for people. You
somebody
see people sweat.
Yeah. Everybody. Oh man. When I was slowing down.
Sweating.
Oh yeah. Can't wait.
Man, I was sweating. Hey guys, thanks for joining us on Yards After the Catch. We'll see you on the Trenches. Have a great week 1, everybody. Fill those roster spots. Be smart, play your studs. That's rule number 1 for week 1. Take it to the bank. We'll see you guys next time, next Tuesday on Yards After the Catch. Thanks for joining us.
Best of luck.